Three, two, one, pizza, or whatever I should say, because
Yeah.
yeah,
Wacky quip. Wacky quip.
wacky
Yeah.
quip
Yeah.
or whatnot. Welcome back to Campy
Mm.
Cast. I'm Anthony. This is Brian over here, and today we're kind of back. We're back. I know it's been a bit
Yeah.
inconsistent with the upload schedule. We're much more active near like September or whenever we first started this podcast, so it's been a bit
Yeah.
inconsistent.
We
But
we've just had a busy like last month, so we couldn't really do
yeah,
much for the
uh huh.
channel. But
Also, we
yeah.
had this like issue with our new video where we had like insane audio issues with it. How you could not hear Brian's voice, and I know audio is a bit inconsistent. I think we just have more sensitive mics. I think that's the issue, but we did our best, and this is the best I think you can get when fixing it. So yeah, hopefully,
Yeah, the weird thing is, I'm
obviously
not really
the audio
even now.
will
I'm still
improve.
not really sure why that happened. But
Yeah,
I think it's
I
solved
think it
now.
was. Yeah, yeah,
At
it's
least.
better now. I just like. I don't even know what really happened of why your audio was so low
Yeah,
compared
it's
to.
weird. I have no idea because I did it the same way I
Yeah,
record
so.
most of our
Yeah, we
episodes.
decided
But
to re upload it just in case some people wanted to, enjoy it, just to get
luckily,
a
yeah,
proper one.
yeah.
So,
'Cause I
yeah.
really like that episode, so it's good you guys got to hear that and like the
Yeah,
quality I actually
yeah.
want you to hear it in.
Uh huh.
But
Because we were
yeah,
pretty
yeah,
passionate about the movies we were discussing in that one. So,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
So it
But
was nice to. Yeah, I guess we just took kind of a break, I guess. This video is gonna be more like on just like news and stuff. And we have two other movies we'll discuss, but yeah.
yeah,
We'll talk about some news. There's been some news that we've missed that I think they're worth discussing that you've probably seen on the internet by now. So I think it's worth discussing and bringing up that. Um, I guess yeah, we have two other movies to talk about shown in the thumbnail and the description. So look forward to those discussions. Also, if you're wondering why we changed Brian's icon in the thumbnails as well, because
yeah, we did do that.
yeah,
Yeah,
I personally thought it was kind of weird how my like internet thumbnail icon was an actual character, which is Squidward Tentacles from SpongeBob, and yours was just this random edit that you made of American Psycho and Seth MacFarlane. So I
yeah.
wanted to switch
Well,
that up, and
personally, I find
yeah,
that edit funny, but for consistency's sake, it makes
yeah,
sense because like my online persona for a while has indeed been Brian Griffin from the show Family Guy. See,
hmm
now it's more natural. We got like two actual characters beside each other,
yeah,
and then that face looks funny on the thumbnail. So see, that works out too. Just for the best, it looks nice. But yeah,
yeah. I think it just like looks it looks better. It looks better in my opinion.
yeah,
So yeah, don't know what else to say. But yeah, that's what's been happening, and we hope to hopefully start uploading these more often now. We just had a pretty busy month or so, so yeah.
yeah.
Um. Yeah. So we got some news that has recently happened. There's been a lot of news, but I'd say we just go over it a bit. Just just a lot of
It's been a while, so we have a
interesting
lot of
news.
stuff to cover, but a
Yeah.
lot of it's
So
interesting, so we
yeah.
might as well just
Let's
go
start
through
off with
everything.
probably the biggest thing that people have been talking about all over the internet, and it's getting sort of ridiculous. Our podcast, yeah, is usually on films, but we like to sometimes dabble into some other internet culture. What's going on the internet? What's the big thing?
Yeah.
What are people talking about? Whatnot. We like to do that every now and again. That's why we brought up the GTA 6 news in our very first episode of this podcast.
Yep.
So yeah. Um, I'm pretty sure, Brian, you've heard the news of Mr. Beast getting canceled by a bunch of people on Twitter for helping blind people see again.
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard about this. Yeah. Just a dumb situation in
Uh
general
huh.
from
It
what
is
I've
really
like heard much
stupid.
about.
I don't know
Yeah.
why. It is so dumb. This isn't the first time Mr. Beast has gotten into a stupid situation like this. He is he. This isn't the first time he's been like canceled. He's never this type of stuff has never really negatively impacted his YouTube career. And honestly, I'm just annoyed at people just attempting to cancel him from the stupidest things possible. Someone called Mr. Beast the Antichrist for this. He called him the Antichrist for because people think that he's like profiting off people's blindness and whatnot. But like even if he's like which
Thing is, even if that's true, at the end of the day, he's still doing way more good than he
yeah,
is harm. Like he's
exactly.
literally curing people of blindness. Like, yeah, you could argue it's weird he's making it a video, but also,
Yeah.
like, just
It's like
I don't know.
it's stupid. Even if he was like just doing this for money and profit, he's still doing something good at the end of the day. He's still helping thousands of people with their blindness. He's saving lives over here. So like even if he is doing that, what's the harm? He's not harming everyone. He's still helping people
Yeah,
at the end of the
exactly.
day. And sure it's like a weird reason for doing it. But like yeah, also I don't think that's the reason Mr. Beast does this stuff. It's clear that he has like passion for this stuff. Like, he dedicates so much time and effort into doing stuff like this. And if anything, we should be mad about the surgery and how we have to like pay for this 10-minute eye surgery that can basically change people's lives. That's the thing people should be mad about.
Yeah,
Mr. Beast
and
is
plus,
also mad and is trying to help this issue. Go
yeah,
on.
and plus, also, thing is, I don't really. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think I really watch Mr. Beast at all. But from what
Yeah.
I've heard, he makes like he loses a lot more money on doing videos like this than he actually gains money. So really, he's not like it's not like he's doing this because he's gonna make a massive profit off of anything. I don't know.
Yeah.
Gonna like this is like financially benefiting him to do this. It
Uh-huh.
doesn't.
Yeah. Um yeah, it's just like he's not doing it's like he's helping so many people and just like it's also become like surprisingly big. Mr. Beast himself also responded to this, which I think it's the first time he's like responded from a like stupid attempt of canceling him because Mr. Beast has like this isn't the first time some people on Twitter have tried to cancel Mr. Beast over shit like this. But like in this case, it's like he actually responded and he basically pointed out how stupid it
Oh, he
was.
did.
Yeah, he
Oh,
he
he
just
did.
basically said that he basically just made fun of the people who were like criticizing him for the way he was using like his money to help people, like in terms of like people saying that rich people should help people with money, and then Mr. Beast does that exact thing, and then Twitter gets mad at him. Like, why do people get mad over this stuff? I don't get why people try to cancel Mr. Beast. Like, I watch Mr. Beast. I watch it, and the video he made himself was actually, it was really wholesome. It was done well, I'd say. There was a lot of effort put into it. The thumbnail, yeah, incredibly memeable. Mr. Beast's thumbnails have always been pretty memeable. But it's a great video on its own. Like, there's just, like, it's just a really wholesome, nice video. Seeing these people regain, like, eyesight. It's nice. It's really nice that Mr. Beast did something like this. And it sucks that there's so many people who are just being just spread so much hate towards the guy for doing something as good as this. It's just stupid, just really dumb. I just don't understand this type of stuff when it comes to Mr. Beast criticism like this. It's just like stupid. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't have too much else to say. It's like pretty much what everyone else has been saying about this drama, right?
Yeah. I don't have much to add either. I just think in general it's just a really dumb
Yeah.
situation,
It's
and I
just like
don't like.
yeah, I didn't expect this to get like as much attention as like it really did because I've seen stupid Mr. Beast attempts at canceling before. And it's like I think this is one of the stupidest instances and it's getting the most attention cuz how dumb it is. So yeah, apparently Mr. Beast is helping blindness and everyone's just like, "What?" No, I swear, Mr. Beast is one day gonna cure cancer or something, and then everyone is just gonna be like, "How dare he? How dare he help millions of people all over the world? How dare he? That anti-Christian." It's so stupid. I hate it. It's dumb. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's our. I guess that's our thoughts about this stupid situation. But that's not all the news. Um, we also have the Academy, the Oscars, nominating their
The
choices
Oscar
for the
nominations
Oscar
happened. That was weird.
nominations. Yeah, let me pull up my phone here. Let's see the Oscar nominations. Let me just pull up the website, and we could, yeah. So yeah, we got some uh, yeah, all the categories have just been announced. I'd say like a week or so now. We're kind of late to this, but like I said, we've been busy, so I guess we should spread our thoughts on it a bit. Let's see. Um, as for categories, I was generally surprised to see Avatar 2 get nominated for Best Picture. I was like, a bit like, did you expect it to get nominated for Best Picture?
No, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't think it'd get anything, which I'm pretty sure the original Avatar did at the
Yeah, it
time.
did.
So it
It
kind of
did.
makes sense in terms of that aspect. But I
I
don't
know.
know.
It's
I
like
still haven't watched Avatar 2. I'm gonna be honest. It's
I
probably
haven't
really
not
gonna.
seen it either. I might see it soon. I don't know because I'm gonna probably watch all these best picture nominees before the Oscars actually happen, which will hopefully be around the time we release our 2022 video once we watch more movies from last year that we were like interested in discussing. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we'll get into that. Um, yeah. Uh, I don't know. Elvis was nominated for Best Picture, which I've heard very mixed things about. Some people hating it, some people liking it. A lot of people I know hate
Yeah.
it. Yeah,
To be honest, it's probably like at least slightly. It's probably a good theater experience, but other than that, I really don't think there's much that's like
yeah.
add
I don't know much
interesting.
about
I
Elvis
don't know.
Presley at all. I really
Yeah.
don't. I've already seen some of the nominees, like Tar, Top Gun, Maverick. We talked about Tar on the podcast. The
Yeah. Okay,
Banshees of
Elvis being nominated
Inisherin
is weird though. I don't
and
understand like
Everything
that.
Everywhere All at Once. I'd say those are all good movies. It's also cool to see Top Gun Maverick get nominated for Best Picture,
Yeah,
since
I did
like
not expect
I
that,
yeah I
but
didn't expect that either,
good,
but like I'm
good,
kind
good.
of happy the film like crossed $1 billion, even though Avatar 2 has recently beat it, and they somehow were able to reach their goal financially, which I was not expecting because like I did not know that many people still cared about Avatar. You know, I haven't even heard much discussion about it on social media. You know, it's just like
Mhm.
I guess it's just making money in the background. I've seen multiple films in theaters for the past like couple of days, and I still haven't seen Avatar 2 because it's just not that interesting to me. I might see it at some point. I guess it's a cool theater experience. The visuals are good, but like the story is just like I just don't think I'm gonna like it. I've heard like
Yeah.
mixed things about the actual quality of Avatar 2. I've heard a lot of people like say some people say it's better than the first film. Some people say it's worse. It's divisive from what I've heard about it. So I don't know if it's more of
Yeah.
the same or not. So I'm not really sure about that.
I
So yeah,
heard some people say it's either a little better or a little worse, so I
yeah,
couldn't
yeah.
judge. It's a
Uh huh.
I don't know, just around that
Yeah, we
quality.
got yeah. I kind of expected the whale to win more awards. I know you haven't seen that, but I saw it.
Yeah.
It's a very emotional gut punch of a movie, but it did get. I expected Brendan Fraser to hopefully win something like for best actor in a leading role because he did a great job in that movie. But it
I
looked
was also sorry. I was also hoping for RRR to get like anything,
yeah,
and
it
then
at
got
least
one
got
song, which was
yeah.
good.
I mean the song it was
Like
nominated
like
for is really catchy, yeah.
yeah,
But
that song's amazing.
RRR
So that's
deserved
good.
more. It is still my favorite
And
film of
deep down, I
2022.
knew it wouldn't get Best Picture, but I
Uh
kind
huh.
of wanted it to.
Yeah.
It didn't.
I want to talk about
Yeah.
best animated feature since it's easily the category of the Oscars I hate more. It's basically rigged in a lot of ways. I heard like apparently best animated feature was made after like Beauty and the Beast got nominated and also like so like after that happened people were starting to get worried that an animated movie would win like every year or some shit. So they created their
Yeah,
own
yeah, something like that. Because
category.
that
It
was
is
like the
really
only
stupid.
animated movie to like get nominated for Best Picture, and I think only like
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
the only other ones that have been nominated are Up and Toy Story 3, I think. Those are the other
yeah,
only other
yeah.
ones that have been
I mean,
nominated.
like,
But even
I
then, it doesn't happen often. And like,
yeah, uh-huh. I also expected Gilmoro del Toro's Pinocchio to win more. Besides, like, best animated feature, and did it get nominated for anything else? Let me check for a second.
I want to say it probably been nominated for at least one other category, but I'm
Yeah,
not sure
yeah. Let me
exactly.
check if it was nominated for anything else. Hmm. I
Let
don't
me
think
pull up.
I don't think it was. Just scrolling over here for the nominees on this website. Ooh. I don't think so. I
Yeah,
don't think
oh, okay.
so. I'm looking
Yeah.
over here. I don't. I only see the movie in best picture in animated feature. Yeah, which is a shame because honestly, if an animated movie, which I hope at some point gets nominated for best picture, I'd be happy as long as it's a good movie or not something
Yeah.
stupid, you know. Because yeah, best animated feature is the most like is the category I'm probably the most passionate about because it's like the Oscars just don't care about animation at all, you know.
Yeah.
Honestly, I kind of want Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio to win. Like, I actually, Puss in Boots 2, I definitely prefer more, but I'd be perfectly fine if that wins as well. Because Guillermo del Toro, I don't know why I said his full name, but he has a lot of passion for the animation, the medium of animation. Like, he made a speech at the Golden Globes. It was like, he cares. He cares. He understands. He understands the issue and mistreatment of the medium. So like he might deserve that win. Who knows? And it's a good movie as well. Um, yeah,
Yeah, I think if I'm being honest, I would be fine with anything winning that isn't Turning Red, because that's like,
same. Not
I
only
don't,
is
I
it
don't think we've
another
brought it up
Pixar
on the.
movie, but it's a movie I don't particularly like.
Yeah, I don't know if we've mentioned it on the podcast, but we both don't like Turning Red at
Yeah.
all. So
Uh,
if that one, that would be genuinely really
who knows?
insulting,
Maybe we
considering how
discuss
good the
that in the
rest of the lineup
2022
is.
ranking if you're
Yeah,
wondering our thoughts of why we don't think Turning
yeah.
Red works that
So I
well.
won't elaborate on that much, but
Yeah,
if
for
it did
now.
win, that would be really
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
annoying.
No, yeah, especially since
Especially this year, considering how much other good stuff we
I know,
have.
right? I think, yeah, Marcel was also really good. I mean, it's not entirely animated, so I'm like,
That's weird. I really don't know
that was
why
kind of weird.
Marcel's up for so much, since it's a weird
Yeah,
movie to like
I mean,
put under
it's
that
a good
category.
movie. I'm glad
And
it was
also
nominated
weird
at
since
least.
it didn't even release technically in
I
the
mean,
year
it kind of
2022. But
it's a weird
yeah,
film. It's a whole
technically,
thing. It's a whole
hey,
thing.
I don't want to get into that.
It's
Point
even
is, if you're
weird. It
gonna
had a
consider
film
it a
festival in
2022 release, that would
2021,
be good.
but it came out theatrical. It's a whole thing. It kind
Yeah.
of is similar to what happened with the movie we'll be talking about today. But yeah. Puss in Boots 2 was nominated, and we talked about how much we loved that in the other video. And like,
Yeah.
I'm happy so many people have been praising that movie. So like, who knows? Maybe you'll get an Oscar nomination if the Oscars, actually watches the movie and doesn't just give it to Turning Red. I don't know. I hope
Mhm.
Pinocchio Del Toro's
Thing is, people
Pinocchio
are
wins.
saying that like at least this year compared to other years, a non-Disney or Pixar movie has more of a chance considering like
Yeah.
Because Guillermo del Toro, his name's all over
Uh
Pinocchio.
huh. Yeah.
So like for based on that, the Academy would be like, oh yeah, that guy we gave Best Picture like a couple
Uh
years ago.
huh. I
He could
think he
probably
might win
like
Best Animated
yeah.
Feature, but
Which thing
like
is, I think that's a fair argument, but also genuinely, I don't want to get my hopes up too much. I'm trying to keep myself
yeah,
in
this
check.
year
So
was not a good year for Disney and Pixar because both Strange World and Lightyear did not do well financially, so those didn't get
at least in
nominated.
terms of their like animated movies, I haven't like in terms of film, I
They all
don't think they've
sucked.
done that good in
They
terms
all
of
kind of sucked.
animation. Yeah,
Yeah,
actually, yeah, I'm gonna be honest, nothing
especially
really good came
Strange
out of this year.
World, but that
Yeah,
movie I had very little to say about. So, yeah,
yeah,
um, yeah. As for other awards, we don't really have too much to say about. A lot of them I'd say like deserve it in terms of like, yeah, I'm happy the Banshees of Inisherin got something because that film is a really well told story about friendship and whatnot, and it's also like
yeah,
just a beautifully well made movie that I enjoyed a ton. So I'm happy that got a lot of recognition. Same with Everything Everywhere All at Once, and Yeah, that was cool to see. I liked
That
that
okay,
movie.
Everything Everywhere All at Once and Tar. I did not expect to get as many nominations as it did, but
No,
I'm proud of both of those. Those
yeah,
like deserve it a
Black
lot,
Panther
especially Tar.
Wakanda.
Glad that Tar
Yeah,
got
Black
Best
Panther
Picture.
Wakanda Forever did not get nominated for Best Picture. It did get some awards, but not Best Picture this time, which is I guess like I'm happy that the Black Panther movies appeal to so much people. I'm really happy about that. I don't. I'm not the biggest fan of either of them, if I'm being honest. But like I'm happy people like it at the end of the day. I'm happy people connect to them so much, and at least like yeah, I guess I'll give it. It's at least the best Marvel movie of the year, but that's not really saying much because 2022 was a pretty shitty year for Marvel, if I'm being honest. Yeah. So,
I've only well, thing is, I've only seen Thor 4 and Doctor Strange 2 in terms of Marvel products this year,
uh-huh.
and both of those are kind of terrible. So
Yeah. Yeah,
I don't have a
those
good
suck.
impressions on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I probably won't ever watch Black Panther 2, like
Fair. It
unironically.
is also like a 3-hour movie, so like it's pretty long, and I don't know if it's
Yeah,
worth it.
it would take me a while to finish
Yeah.
if I did,
Uh-huh.
but
Yeah, but I'm
yeah.
happy the song, the dance scene from RRR was nominated for Best Original Song. So,
Yeah,
yeah, I don't know,
that's a
maybe
good pick. I hope that wins. I hope
yeah,
that wins.
I will watch the other Best Picture nominees at some point probably, so there.
Thing is, every year I always like want to watch all the Best Picture nominees, but I like always
Yeah.
forget. So hopefully this year I actually do. But
I've
we'll
seen
see.
most
We'll
of the
see.
I've seen a good portion of them so far. And I'm happy Top Gun Maverick got some recognition. Like just happy that the movie did so well financially. Like with a like it's nice to see a non-Marvel like movie part of like this massive franchise. And sure, it's a legacy sequel, but it's nice to see a film like that get that type of recognition. Also, as a bonus, it's pretty much better to, in the Top Gun Maverick is pretty much just the like an entirely better version of the first film in pretty much every conceivable way. So, yeah,
Because you know the their Top Gun Maverick's not mid.
yeah,
The
I
you
like
know.
yeah, I like that. So I guess that's it.
Wait, hold on. One more thing
Yeah,
on the
I guess one
Oscars.
more thing.
Yeah, one more thing about. There's one
Yeah.
more thing for the Oscars. Uh, I haven't seen the film Glass Onion: A Knives Out Mystery. But I'm just gonna take a wild guess and assume it does not deserve best adapted screenplay or whatever it got.
I
Just
mean, I
throwing it
wouldn't
out there.
say adapted screenplay. Wait,
Yeah,
did it? Oh
but I
yeah,
was in.
it did get that. Yeah, I mean, I enjoy
Yeah,
the movie, but it's like it's a film I have a lot of writing issues with when taken into account. Like there's just nothing I see mind blowing about Ryan Johnson's mystery duology, if I'm being honest.
yeah.
And I used to like the first Knives Out a lot, but honestly, the rewatch did not really do well for me. But
I haven't seen the original Knives Out in years, so I have no idea how it would
I'm
hold up
still
for me.
happy people like these movies though in some way. Like, I don't know. I can see someone enjoying them. I enjoy some of it a little. So yeah. Damn chair. Okay.
Mhm.
Anyways, yeah, one last thing we want to talk about is Justin Roiland being fired from Rick and Morty. Sure, it's a short show we haven't talked about on this podcast, which we may one day. It's a show I do have
Yeah,
quite
it
a bit to say
depends.
about.
Because Rick and Morty's always been a show I've had like a partial grudge against. Uh,
Because of the
they're for
fandom.
biased reasons, I'll admit. But thing is, I've never Justin Roiland's Morty voice is really annoying to me, so
Oh
I've never
yeah.
wanted to
Uh
check it
huh.
out for that. And then also the Rick and Morty fandom is like
Yeah.
awful, and I hate them. So I just never wanted to interact with them for both of those reasons. That
Mm-hmm.
might be partially unfair towards the early seasons, since I've heard they're like good. So
Yeah,
I'd be biased
I do
against them.
not like the early seasons of
Yeah,
the late seasons of Rick and Morty. Um, but
yeah,
still, I can
yeah, I
go more
probably
in
would
depth on a
either.
different episode if you want to do that. So yeah, he got fired. Um, and now we're looking for a new voice actor for Rick and Morty. He got fired for domestic violence and sending inappropriate messages to minors. So
Uh,
that's interesting.
yeah.
Uh,
Weirdest thing about this whole thing though is all the articles say this stuff happened in like 2020, but
oh,
he was never. But this stuff was like, I guess it only came out to the public now, which is
huh.
kind of disgusting thinking about how he
Uh,
did this and then got to go back to work on Rick and Morty for
wow.
like 2 or 3 other seasons before this stuff was out to the public. That's kind of gross to think about. But
Yeah.
the good news is Adult Swim has cut all ties with Justin Roiland now, which is
Mm,
ultimately a good thing since, he's an awful person and I wouldn't want him to be involved in the show any
yeah.
further.
We'll see. We'll see what they replace it with. It's just like I don't know. Maybe I'm also kind of getting sick of Justin Roiland's sense of humor, and I feel like the new game he made, High on Life, which I did play, kind of embodies that in a lot of ways. Because a lot of the jokes are just edgy for the sake of edgy, and it just like they just hammer in a lot of the jokes and self-awareness, and the game just thinks it's much more clever and meta than it really is, and it makes a bunch of wacky meta jokes like about Mario and Evangelion and shit like
Oh
that.
yeah, I've seen that joke where the joke is that he's in an elevator and Justin
Yeah,
Roiland's
this
like,
is
"Oh,
just
you know
like
that we have
this is
a
like
Evangelion,"
Evangelion. We're gonna
and he
hammer that in
names just a
hard,
bunch of media.
and
Like
it
I've
just
seen
like
clips of that.
yeah, it
I
just
was
doesn't make me take any of the story seriously, and there's just nothing really that outstanding or interesting about the gameplay. So like, yeah, it's a game I don't have much to say about, but I do not like it.
I find the design of the gun kind of funny, but that's it.
Yeah,
Like,
it has yeah, I don't know. I do not really recommend it. Might some people might like it this humor, but I'm just getting kind of sick of it. And it's like this type of humor has just been plaguing the new seasons of Rick and Morty a lot. And like, we'll get to that in the future if we ever plan on doing a Rick and Morty video like we did with Moral Oral when we talked about all 3 seasons. So yeah,
maybe
we'll see.
someday.
Yeah,
I will say though, I do the like thing is you can criticize Justin Roiland for whatever you want, but I think it's just gonna feel weird recasting. Like I don't know how
yeah,
much Justin Roiland's involved in like the writing, and plus the show's already been on a decline with Justin Roiland. So like I don't think that's gonna cause season 7 to
uh
be like
huh,
this noticeably way worse season of Rick and Morty. But also I don't know. Like it's weird considering he was like so heavily involved for so long and like he like plays both characters. I feel like it's gonna be jarring going into like new
I
episodes
think
and
they'll
like
make
just
like a
kind of
joke
pretend
or
everything.
something about, hey Morty, do you sound different? Don't you? They're gonna make
Hey,
a stupid joke like that.
make a meta joke about it, and Rick will like it'll be like, "Gee, I don't know, Rick. I sound a little different." He'll
Yeah,
talk like
I don't
that,
know. I don't
say
know.
something
It's
like,
gonna.
eh,
I just feel like there's a chance it might just sound weird, and how like it will plague the writing, and like we'll see. I'm more interested to see season 7 of Rick and Morty now. I'll say that. So
yeah,
yeah,
but I will know because Justin Roiland plays both Rick and Morty.
and a
What
lot of
I'm
other
wondering,
like
yeah,
side characters. I'm
yeah,
pretty sure.
yeah, the thing is, the whole thing between Rick and Morty is that they have like a lot of back and forth between each other. I don't know if they're gonna like try to get separate actors to play Rick and Morty, or they're gonna get someone to play one of them again, and they're just gonna have to rotate between each other a lot.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what direction they're gonna go for, but either
Uh
way,
huh.
it'll be definitely different at least.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. It might feel different. So yeah.
It would be funny though, I will say. It would be funny if the show gets better after this. Like that would be
That'd be
funny.
funny.
But
Justin Roiland was just holding the show back, so maybe
yeah.
that's how it was. Okay, so now let's get to the actual movies to discuss that we saw.
Okay.
Um, let's start off with a kind of new release. Yeah, we have
Yeah.
M3GAN, M3GAN, Megan, whatever you want to call it.
I call him a Threekin because that sounds funnier,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
uh
Mithrican. We'll call it Mithrican because it's funny. So
yeah.
yeah, this is a horror, dull, creepy movie, kind of similar to the premise of Child's Play, but with artificial intelligence, and it's a girl this time, and it's yeah, and she does a TikTok dance that is just so begging to be a TikTok dance, It's just
He-
force of memes all over social media. They even hold it at like back the movie from a rated R rating to a PG-13 rating, just so like literally just so it can appeal to more people after it got like successful on the internet. And it ended up doing really good financially since it's like a Blumhouse film, and these type of stuff
Yeah,
has pretty
Blumhouse.
they have pretty low budgets, and it's produced by James Wan, who created stuff
I
like
forget. Have we talked about Blumhouse on this channel
no, I
before?
mean, I
Uh,
guess if you want to count the Five Nights at Freddy's movie, that is gonna
yeah, I mean,
rise.
because we kind of did when we brought
Which
up
has
that.
more information. We got Matthew Lillard as
Yeah,
William Afton and whatnot,
yeah,
and it's
yeah,
officially
that's
filming at the time we're recording this. So
yeah,
interested to
that's
see how
true.
that plays out.
Anyway, Blumhouse kind of sucks, to be honest. With
I
most of their,
mean, they've made a lot
they
of
just make so much like bottom tier horror shit. It's like,
uh-huh.
get it? Like most of the time they just like, again, they just produce this stuff because it's really notoriously horror movies are really easy to pump out because they're usually really cheap and usually they can make a
Uh-huh.
lot of money
I
due
mean,
to their low
they
budget.
made Whiplash, which is one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, but that's like the outlier
Yeah,
movie.
but they
Nothing
made
really
shit
else.
like Day slash Dem, which I also saw this week.
Oh, Blumhouse was they slash them. I don't.
Yeah, they made
Oh, they also made the Tooth Fairy starring The Rock. I'm not joking.
they made
Wait, I think it's
The
no, they did.
Purge.
I think
They
it.
made Truth or Dare, the Purge movies, which I heard a lot of them kind of suck. They've made
Probably.
some of the Halloween sequels, like Halloween's
Uh,
Ends and Kills, stuff like that.
they made Us, which is abysmal.
Oh,
So you know that's another
I
thing.
haven't watched that.
Oh, and they made Black Clem. No, that's they made Split. Yeah,
All right.
Split.
Yeah,
Felt that was
so
necessary.
M3GAN is yeah. I don't like it. I was generally surprised
Regan's
seeing
lame.
actual positive reviews. Like people apparently like this movie. I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't understand why. Like it's just like people some people are saying it's like saying something deep about certain like society, like I don't know, about parenting and stuff, but it's the most like minimal like type cliche ever things you can do. Okay, spoilers, this film's still in theaters, so like yeah, I guess.
I think it's on digital now, but I'm pretty
Oh
sure it's
yeah,
not
but I
still.
think it's still in theaters, so
It's probably still playing in some
uh-huh,
places.
yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt that.
So yeah, they already planned a sequel. It's called M3GAN 2.0 or
Which
whatever.
is sad. It would be really funny if they called it Maforgan, but
Before
oh
that would
well.
not make any sense. That would make no sense.
Yeah, but it
Why
sounds
is it
funny.
why okay, apparently it's called M3GAN. There's a 3 instead of an E because it's Model 3 Android. That's why. So it wouldn't
Yeah,
make sense if it's called M4 unless M3GAN gets an update.
unless it was the fourth model. You know,
Yeah,
you
the
don't know
fourth they
that.
make another model of M3GAN. Try to get it right this time.
Or they could have called it Ma 33gan. Really want to be
Just
experimental
to
with
add
it.
another digit. Sure,
Yeah,
sure. And anyways, I did not like this movie. Um, it's like
I agree.
oh no, the girl's parents died. And like there's just not much time taken to like take in the fact that her parents died. Like the aunt who is raising her doesn't even seem to miss her freaking sister in any way. She doesn't even seem to care too much about the kid. She keeps claiming she wants to help her, sure, but like she never goes out of the way to help her. And you think that would be a part of her arc, but for the majority of the movie, she just leaves her like niece with this creepy doll M3GAN, which is like this toy she made to hopefully like help with kids' mental health or something. And it's like at the same time they basically like make it to the point where they think that that to point where the doll just becomes starts raising the kid on their own, and apparently like the the aunt does not like look past this. Like I remember one of her like co-workers or whatever said, we shouldn't try to replace people's parents, and then she just ignores her or something. It's pretty stupid. It's pretty dumb.
Thing is, I think the parents, or at least like what they're trying to go for, is there are a lot of people who say this movie has like actual like themes or commentary or satire, I'm gonna be honest. If that is what the movie was going for, they did not communicate that in any like
Oh
noticeable
yeah, it
way.
is very.
Like,
I mean, the thing of what they're trying to say is very unsubtle and very overdone. It is so clear how it's trying to go for this, like, ooh, we should not be independent by technology, bad, whatnot. We shouldn't. Everything is so unsubtle. Everything is just so obvious, you know. I mean, it's like look at M3GAN's design. You know, if this is supposed to be modern in today, you think that some people may be just just a little less creeped out by this like human doll hybrid. You know, there's nothing cute or innocent about Megan. There's nothing that looks. She always looks like she's gonna kill someone. She always has
yeah.
that impression on her face. It is so
And thing is,
unsubtle.
from the design of like the doll, thing is to compare it. I haven't seen Child's Play, but like if you compare, like I could see like a kid like trusting or maybe wanting a Chucky doll. That's like I can see that, but I'm gonna be
Yeah.
honest. The Mithrigan doll does not look like a doll an actual kid would
Especially
like. It
since it's
doesn't.
like basically a human robot size.
Doesn't
You
seem
know?
appealing to like an actual
Yeah, and
child.
also,
I
dude,
don't
does
get that.
anyone not know how like weird it sounds to make this like creepy doll who's like made to basically protect their child from any like sadness or emotion, you know? Hey, isn't it your job to do that? And I know the autism says she's a workaholic, blah blah blah, but like isn't your job to like spread happiness and whatnot? Isn't your job to make this doll in the first place, you know? Like, at least do something. Also, I find it unintentionally hilarious how overly and psychotically attached the girl gets to the Megan doll. To the point when she like starts throwing tantrums, she starts to stop feeling like a kid with how attached she gets, you know? Like
Yeah,
it's just like,
I don't know.
and just by this, you know, it's so obvious that we shouldn't. It just everything about this film's message has been done before, and it's just so obvious. And it's like,
Yeah, another thing, the actual like doll is like so obviously menacing that I don't understand why the kid nor anyone else really doesn't suspect things like sooner, at least with like the actions she
oh
does. And
yeah,
like I don't know.
yeah. Especially
And
since like
oh
the freaking the main aunt character who's named Gemma, I think, like keeps
yeah,
her
that
doesn't
sounds right.
even bother keeping her eyes on the Megan doll for the majority of the movie. She just lets her do whatever, you know, just leave her with this young kid that she just adopted and that she shows basically no sympathy towards. She if she really cares for the kid, she try and take time off work and raise herself. This doesn't feel like a lesson this type of person who is like this familiar with AI to the point when she's able to basically program this artificial intelligence. This isn't something I feel like this type of person would need to learn in a story like this, you know? You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, nah, yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Also, kind of not it's mildly like off topic, but another thing people say about this movie is that it's really campy.
It
And
is
I'm gonna
so
be honest, people need to watch. Genuinely, people need to watch more fun movies. Because if you think the kills in Mithrigan are fun, then like I don't understand.
yeah,
I'm
here's the
glad people like it, but
yeah.
I don't
I,
understand where the fun or the camp come or the self awareness comes from.
yeah,
I don't get
how
it.
it's I don't find any of the attentive scenes to be self-aware. Like I think some people who work on the film claim it's like a horror comedy, but like a lot of the moments just didn't feel like that intentional. Maybe the dance scene was intentionally funny. I'd give it that. It was like but at the same time, it comes out of fucking nowhere, and it's so obvious they're trying to make this like a memeable dance, and it worked. It worked. People been doing the Megan dance. It's like this
I
Jenna
have.
Ortega
No.
dance with from Wednesdays. It's like that. They did it. They succeed. Are you happy? Are you happy, James Wan? Are you happy? You happy? Everyone's doing the Megan dance. You happy? Bet he's happy. He's happy. Also, there's like this weird business plot where they're like trying to sell Macon to like other companies. I don't even know. I didn't even pay much attention to that part to be honest. And it's like just completely abandoned and barely developed, you know? And it's also like M3GAN doesn't even like. It also takes way too long for M3GAN to actually start killing people. You know, they just don't go all out with it. You know, it feels like there also isn't just enough blood. You know, I think there's like one scene I remember that
That's just because
actually
they
had
toned it
blood in it.
down for
Yeah, I just like, was this
PG-13,
really
which
supposed to be rated R? Like, did they really tone
I
this
I, I
down
do
that
wonder
much?
though, like what was cut out or like altered, because really,
Yeah, I kind of want to see
I
the
I
actual.
think it would have to be a lot because the base plot doesn't really have much go. I know that's because they toned it down, but I really need to know
Yeah.
what they toned down or what it was gonna be. But I don't know.
Uh
Just
huh.
it's weird.
Yeah. It's just the film is just so lame. It just everything about it. You know, you got your typical jump scares, your typical creepy doll horror shit. They
Mm-hmm.
also connect her to like from what I've heard, this is like similar to the 2019 Child's Play remake when the like main doll is more of an artificial intelligence who apparently is connected to the internet and control things around her. Like she can apparently control the freaking car somehow. Why would you connect her to the internet in the first place? What how,
Mm-hmm.
how do you know that what is on the internet? Huh?
Mm-hmm.
It's like they're begging for things to go wrong, huh? It's stupid. It's dumb. It's just, I don't know. You know, it just like, yeah, and like I said, the kid just gets so weirdly attached to the doll, and it's like she freaking punches her on in the face, and
Oh
honestly,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
it's like that was such a stupid scene. It's like how, what kind of kid gets so attached to a doll like that? Like it's not really to the point when it's not like it's just like I don't know, it just doesn't feel weird. It's so dumb. It's just weird how attached she gets in such like what it feels like a short amount of time. Like I'm pretty sure I don't even I don't even know. You know? Also, yeah, there was some like the kills in this movie are fine. There's some funny scenes. Like there's this hilarious scene which feels kind of unintentionally funny if I'm being honest. Was with the was the scene with the kid. You know that scene with like the kid
See,
and
that part was kind of funny, but like
yeah.
the thing is, I don't know. That's like the only kill that's like actually over the top or exaggerated, like at least that much. Like,
Uh-huh.
there wasn't really anything like fun about any of the kills or anything in this movie.
Yeah.
I don't get
It's such
because
a
it's not really
yeah, and it's just such a
like
lame
all that
yeah.
creative in terms of kills or like slasher stuff. Like
There's
for
nothing
like
really
most funny bad horror movies, I find them funny because either like the main slasher is ridiculous or like the kills around it are ridiculous. But like M3GAN's just the actual like M3GAN doll. She's just kind of like lame. I don't find her
uh-huh.
fun really. And
Yeah,
then the
there's nothing
actual
like
kills aren't
clever
really
or
anything to them
interesting because
either.
she's
So
barely
I
in
don't know.
this type of killer M3GAN doll is barely in the movie, you know? I guess she starts to gain sentience and starts to become more overprotective of the kid and starts to kill people who are attempting to turn her off, like the aunt, I guess. And it's all like, what is her planning here? If she kills the aunt, like, what is she just gonna take care of the girl herself now? That's what's gonna happen.
I don't know.
I don't know. It's kind of it's a weird. It's like it's just like I don't know. I feel like if they went more all out, like maybe make M3GAN more rogue. You know, make her more manipulative or intimidating. Because honestly, this film's not scary at all. You know,
It's not.
not. I didn't expect it to. I didn't expect it to. The trailers looked hilarious. It looked ironically funny. It wasn't really. There were a couple funny scenes, I guess. The dance scene was kind of funny, mainly because how out of nowhere it all was, I guess. The whole plot about them trying to, like, sell M3GAN and take it worldwide is just kind of ended once M3GAN kills, like, the manager guy. I'm just gonna call him
Mhm.
manager guy, because there's just nothing about it that I thought was, like, even ignoring all the criticisms I have of the main beat characters being kind of they're just kind of unlikable. The On is just a like an unreasonable unreasonably bad caretaker, like just a weirdly bad caretaker, and the kid is just like, honestly, I think the kid was like, the kid was a fine. The acting was fine for her. It's not bad kid acting. The acting in this movie was, it was very like bland, especially for the main character. The kid, I think the kid did better job than the aunt. I think that's, yeah. It's just like, I don't know. It's, yeah. I'm generally surprised. I did not expect people to actually like this movie.
I really don't. The thing is, well, I kind of did because at this point I can never predict what like letterbox people will like or not. And at the end of the day, I am kind of glad that people got like something out of this, but I really don't like
I don't get
edit.
much out of it besides a couple funny moments, because like, even ignoring that, the story isn't really, everything it's trying to say feels like it's just like not really adding anything new to the whole technology bad. We should not be independent on technology. Pretty much every part in this movie just screams that in just the most unsubtle way possible. So like, yeah.
It's not even like that profound of a message. Like it needs to be unsubtle with what it's saying. So it's like I don't know. I don't know if I'd use preachy as the right word, but it's just not saying anything all too interesting.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
And I thought some stuff was boring. Like I said, the whole business plot of them trying to take M3GAN worldwide, which they completely forget to end. But honestly, I didn't care about that because I didn't even like that mini subplot thing. It's just, I thought it was lame. So yeah, I did not care for M3GAN. There was, it was about what I expected it to be, if I'm being honest, in terms of quality. I just expected it to be more wild with the idea, more zany, And it's like, there isn't much moments I thought that were intentionally funny, and even like, it just like, I didn't find it to be this like fun campy horror comedy, because like, I didn't find a lot of the stuff that if anything, they were trying too hard to make this movie campy. If all,
because like the literal dance, that's like actively trying to have people find it funny or whatever.
So hard to do it because it's like out of
and I guess it did work because like they advertised the movie with that, and
this film did really well.
Know.
Like it's like I said, Blumhouse makes low budget horror movies, and I do think I don't know. Do you have any compliments for the movie?
I don't have any compliments, but also it's not like that like I don't have anything good to say, but also I don't have anything
I
like
can see someone moderately considering it a guilty pleasure. I guess.
I don't really, because like it's not really like I don't see anything that's like all that worth it, like in terms of like value, in terms of being funny or like anything like that. So I really wouldn't get anything out of it in that sense. Like at the end of the day, I am glad people are, but like people defending it for like I don't know, satire reasons or camp reasons, I will never like get really at all. So I don't know.
Really like M3GAN, M3GAN. I didn't care for it that much. Will the sequel be better? I don't think so.
No,
probably not.
Just getting that and not just cutting right to the chase. No.
I don't even know how you can make. I'd like to see them make it try though. I don't know. Who knows? It's called M3GAN 2.0 because I guess that makes sense. They didn't go M4GAN or M33GAN. They just didn't do that. But I guess, oh well. It comes out in 2025. Apparently, they already got a release date for it. So, yeah, we'll see when that happens. We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
If we're even still doing this podcast by then, which I hope.
Maybe.
I hope.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Be nice. Swell even.
Yeah.
You got anything else you gotta say? Really, I don't have.
Really, I don't have much else
either.
to say. Like it's just like I didn't like the characters. I thought everything it was trying to say was unsubtle. It wasn't really that entertaining or like campy in that way. Some moments were, but not like in the best way. They just felt sort of out of place. They just felt like when M3GAN was not killing people, the film was pretty much just standard and not campy. And even some of the kills, just like, it feels like they're trying too hard at points to be this like campy epic horror comedy. I don't know. It's like with the I guess it's like with the exaggerated kills that M3GAN does, right?
Hmm.
I guess, but like I didn't find them that funny. There's like
Yeah,
two
it's not
there's
really
like two
even.
scenes in the movie I found kind of funny. Actually, forgot to mention this one scene, which I think I can't tell if they're trying to make M3GAN this like cool badass serial killer or they're trying to make her a joke. Because there's this weird ass scene. I don't know if you remember it, but there's this scene that
Mhm.
she just starts singing Titanium to the girl while she falls asleep. It's just, it's so out of place. It's like, it's just, I don't know why. Is that intentional? Was that intentional? Was I supposed to laugh at that? Was like,
Well, people keep calling it intentional camp, so I guess
was
I
someone
think it
seriously in a
is.
pitch meeting say,
But
hey, you know what would be hilarious? What if the doll just started singing Titanium? Sold.
because that seems like it'd be intentionally funny, but also at the grand scheme of things, that's totally clashing because a lot of it takes itself weirdly
Yeah, like with
seriously.
its
So it doesn't
emotional, it's
really
like it thinks
kind
it's
of
saying
clashes,
something
but
deep about technology, but it's really adding nothing new to the mix. So yeah, I'm gonna give. I guess we'll get our ratings. I'll give M3GAN a 3 gun out of 10,
I will also give M3GAN a 3 out of 10.
or
Not a great.
or a star and a half if we're using letterbox ratings. And
Yeah, I just say the number rating is easier.
yeah,
So
so
yeah,
that's our
solid
thoughts on the
three out
3
of ten.
and
Yeah.
we couldn't really decide what to do, what other random movie we could do for this one. So we decided, hey, you know what's this week? It's Groundhog Day. It's Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
So we decided,
Oh.
hey, you know, it's been a while. Why don't I rewatch Groundhog Day on Groundhog Day for
I watched it
him?
2 days after Groundhog Day,
Oh,
but that technically fits since
mm,
it's Groundhog Day every day
it is
in the
technically
Groundhog Day timeline.
in the
So
universe.
technically, I
So
did watch it on Groundhog Day if you want to look at it like that.
yeah.
But
For those who don't
yeah.
know, Groundhog Day is a classic. It's not as quite a classic. It's about time.
Yeah.
It's about Bill Murray, who plays the character of Phil Connors, getting stuck in an infinite time loop during Groundhog Day, and basically doing whatever he can to utilize the fact that the day will just start over by the end of it. And honestly, just really like these type of time sort of stories, and I think it's just like I think this type of stuff is a cool idea, you know? And I think
Yeah, the
they end up
concept's like
utilizing it
interesting
really
at
well.
least. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't think this is the only movie I've seen with a similar sort of concept. Weirdly enough, Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas has one segment that's just
Oh
the
yeah,
plot
I've
of
seen
this, but
that.
with that
It was
is
like with
weird. And I feel
Super
like I
Dooley
could
and
think.
Louie. I remember that, but except it
Yeah,
was with
I remember,
Christmas.
and
I
I think there's
remember
like
that.
at least a couple other things with this concept, but
Yeah.
this is like definitely the most popular of like this type.
Mm.
And
Yeah, I
yeah,
remember
I
back
think the
in.
main thing is like it takes like just uses the concept very well, at least like
Yeah.
this
I'd
way.
say another movie I've seen that kind of I'd say utilizes the concept pretty well. I saw back in 2020 was also Palm Springs, which kind of like has the same formula but like shakes it up a bit by adding like two people to the mix who are stuck in an
Oh,
infinite loop, but except one of them has been stuck in the loop for years and one of them has just recently been stuck in the loop, and they're basically having interesting discussions about if the life is worth living or not. But yeah, I remember
oh,
it's a great movie. I might
oh,
rewatch it at some point. Honestly,
oh,
just as
nice,
good
nice.
as this movie, but I feel like I like this one a bit more. But
All right.
yeah,
Yeah.
I really just like time loops because I feel like there's just a lot of creative and cool stuff you can do with the main character in them. I like that's why I like the Back to the Future movies. And Back to the
Oh
Future One is
yes.
like generally one of my favorite up there is one of my favorites of movies.
Same.
A lot of
Yeah.
people's favorite movies in terms of like how
Yeah.
well written and well done the concept is, you know?
Mhm.
It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, and I think it's done well here as well with the whole reliving the same day over and over again. I think they just get a lot of funny jokes about it. Just like,
Yeah, they get like a lot of like mileage out of
uh
like the
huh,
concept because like, and I think like a lot of it builds naturally because at first he doesn't know what's going on, and then he
yeah.
gets
He just
depressed
thinks
about the
he's
idea that it
freezing and
keeps
it's kind of
repeating.
funny.
Then after that, he just starts using it to do whatever nonsense he wants. Like, 'cause
Yeah,
then like, because then I'll just like there's the montage of him repeatedly killing himself, which is really funny in a morbid sense. Like when he just drives off the cliff with the groundhog, then he
oh yeah.
jumps off the
And then he
building,
gets
goes into the
arrested
toaster.
and he gets arrested as well. And like,
Yeah.
I also like, I also like, I also like the scenes with like, the guy who tries to sell him insurance, who
Oh yeah, yeah.
Ned, the scene with Ned,
And Ned Ryerson. Yeah.
those always crack me up. Phil?
Yeah, the guy who plays I don't have his name right now, but whoever I think he's in like one other thing I've seen, but that guy does a really good job at like at selling his performance. He's like a funny one-off character they
Yeah.
keep cutting back to.
Uh-huh.
And
Uh-huh. Yeah.
yeah.
It's cool to see how he utilizes this. Basically being able to do pretty much everything he wants, basically scamming people, just basically fucking with them endlessly, doing whatever he can just to start dating his like producer, I think. Um
Yeah, the coworker producer kind of,
yeah,
yeah.
just doing whatever he can. Phil just does whatever he can to do that by just repeating the day over and over again and just continuing to like connect to her more by randomly like saying things that she told her the other. It's funny.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's funny
It's
how like
funny
he
how
like
she.
constant like
It's cool
yeah.
to see how to utilize this concept in terms of like it's nice to see this guy who's like he's kind of arrogant, he has an ego, and it's like, honestly nice, interesting to put him in this situation. And it goes to the point when he starts like a part of him starts becoming kind of like depressed, not knowing how to end the day. So he basically just like he starts killing himself, and it's both funny and depressing at the same time, like you said. So
Yeah.
like yeah,
Yeah.
he goes from like he has a great character arc. I think it's just it's nice. He has a nice character arc. He ends up like he ends up like helping people more. I also like the scene when he just like when he basically pays someone $5,000 for piano lessons, and she just like kicks the girl out. And then like I just like imagine like just imagining the concept and people's reactions to him knowing everything is just kind of funny. Like
Yeah.
I bet the piano teacher was just really confused how each and every day he just continued. He just knew piano already, yet he just like
Yeah.
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 It's like it's
Oh,
kind of
one
no,
Oh, another thing I do, sorry to interrupt, but one thing I do like is I like how they don't like actually give like any sort of explanation for why the event's happening or how he like undoes it. It just kind of like imply they just get stuck in this randomly. And then when
uh-huh.
it stops repeating, it just implied, oh, I guess he learned his lesson in some form, which is why he gets to move on with his life. And like they
Yeah.
don't like overly, because I feel like if they
If
over
they
explained it
overly
or
explain
added
it, wouldn't
something,
make much
it would be
sense.
dumb. But they just like
Yeah.
let it like it being unexplained is almost better because like the
Maybe it's
rules are
like
just very
first.
simple how it works at least. So yeah,
Yeah,
it
and
works well for the like how simple the
I
concept
think
is and
like
how it like
editing wise, I
builds
think they
and
do a
builds.
good job at like continuing the effect with like him waking up every morning and hearing the same like clock alarm over and over again. And I like the first part of the movie when we see him slowly discovering like him repeating the same day over and over again, and him continuing to live this out only to just start to realize the value of life and starting to just hate
Yeah.
it. And it just like it's a he has a very great wholesome character arc by the end of it. And I actually
Mhm.
like his romance with his producer named Rita.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the character. I like the character of Phil a lot. I think
Yeah,
he's
also, I think the main thing is I think Bill Murray's performance also like holds everything together at
in
the end
terms
because
of
like
like
at the
selling the
beginning
arrogant
he
asshole
like
thing.
fits
Yeah.
really well because he's just like the asshole type and that like fit well that's what
Uh-huh.
Bill Murray plays that character a lot but like in this specific scenario it works well and then like he's able to like react to everything happening like later like well and then like eventually as you see him like slowly just like know literally everything that's gonna happen in the day like that stuff's interesting like too a lot so
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I don't think
That sells it
people
a lot
even
to
do
every.
anything. A lot of people don't even do anything for Groundhog Day. So it's nice that
Yeah,
they
I
do.
only watch this movie like every couple Groundhog Days because I
Yeah, I
that's
think
the
this
only
might be my first
I don't think
time
there's any other
watching.
Groundhog Day media unless
Yeah,
I'm
I think
missing
this is my
anything.
first
But
rewatch of this movie. So this is my first time watching Groundhog Day on
I think I've
Groundhog
seen it
Day.
at least 3 or 4 times. That sounds
Yeah, I
right
watched it
around
once a
that.
while
But
ago and I didn't remember too much about it. So it was nice to like revisit more and it ended up getting better on this rewatch. I
yeah,
remember just like liking it, but I ended up like appreciating the main character's type of arc and like I found it much more humorous in terms of how he manipulates people through these timelines. You know, I like the
yeah.
part when he like frickin' when he like randomly asks for this random girl's name and then she just and like where she's from and then just pretends that he knew her in high
Oh
school
yeah,
and
that
then the
part's great
girl
where
just goes along with it and then they end up like
she like
you know
Sabo tricks this person into believing that they went to the same high school and area together, even though they like
yeah
wouldn't have known each other at all before that. That part's really
it's
funny,
just
and
like
also like I like the scenes that like slowly like repeat that like have him like. I think there's one part he's at dinner with Rita, I think, and like they have her like talk, and then I'll ask her a question, and like he'll like mess up or say
and
something
every time he messes
like
up he
dumb
just
and
redoes
then
it to
every
keep
time
saying
it'll like cut to the scene slightly later just the exact same scene that's like a good cut to like
yeah
that part's funny
uh-huh I
and
guess
then
he's just like stuck in an infinite time loop. I guess like they're just implying that, you know, they're not like giving some there it goes. Sorry, something was wrong. Anyways, like they're not like implying that like there's some curse upon. I mean, he's like kind of cursed in some way, but like you know, they just use this more as like a plot device, and it's not like it's like harmless in terms of it, and it does like a good job at progressing it. And it's just a cool concept of seeing like someone such as this character living the same day over and over again. Like I said, I think the main character's arc fits like the main character fits perfectly with the type of concept they're going for, and it makes the whole like story of infinite time loops like that engaging. Seeing this like this guy who's kind of like egotistical, like and arrogant, and like we see him like relive his life this day over and over again, and him like utilizing
yeah
it well, you know, like basically doing whatever he can to like you know, just fuck with people, both
yeah
both
it's
literally and
fun
metaphorically.
I
Just
wouldn't call this movie like very like thing is I don't laugh out loud a lot at like a lot of
I'd
comedies
still say
unless
it's
it's just like
funny.
stupid shit. But yeah, it just really like entertaining
Yeah,
at
there's a lot
least.
of
So
good gags. Like I always laugh at the scenes with him and good old Ned Ryderson as he tries to sell him insurance, and then that part when he and the part when he just randomly punches him in the face, just like I just find that so funny, especially
no,
when you think
f-
of what he's
yeah.
thinking at that very moment.
Yeah, actually, that's part of the comedy. Just imagining everyone else's
Just
reaction, because like
yeah, that's
for
a
them,
lot of
they
the
have no idea
comedy.
about any of
That's
his
what I
other
find
stuff.
so
So they just
funny about it.
yeah,
You know, of how like
yeah,
it's also nice to see him have like a turnaround by the end of it, basically helping all these innocent people out of certain situations, you know, helping from choking. Like he starts to utilize this power well since he thinks he doesn't really have anything else to lit for. And it makes that ending with her with him like, you know, with him with the time loop fixing, you know.
yeah.
It's like it ends well. It has a nice ending.
It has a very nice ending, I will say. Like this is really funny, but also like the emotional core of it's really like sweet to it, and
Uh
it's a very
huh.
nice movie. I'll say that much. And yeah, yeah, great time.
Yeah.
It's a nice yearly like revisit at least. I
Yeah.
think I
I'm gonna
forgot
try my
last year,
best to continue
last
to
couple.
watch this movie on pretty much every Groundhog Day since I
It's
feel
really
like
you really can't really do anything else. I don't even know what happened on the actual Groundhog Day this year, so I don't know.
I don't know. I think most people for Groundhog Day literally just watch this movie. So it's nice that this movie's has like a year that is mostly dedicated to itself. So that's kind of a cool thing to think about. And it's still a good movie that I think is worth me remembering. And I'm happy that this rewatch kind of like bettered the movie for me, since I actually grew to like it even more. So yeah,
Yeah,
I
I agree.
overall I don't know if I have much else to say, but like I said, it's a
Yeah,
well written movie that utilizes its concept really well without over explaining it. And like you said, I'm happy they don't like add some stupid lore for it that can make it more convoluted. It's more of like a
yeah,
tool for this guy's character arc. So
yeah,
yeah, like I said, good performances, writing, concept, well utilized. I like it. Great movie.
yeah.
It deserves to be
Uh,
known as a classic.
yeah. I guess like one more thing I'll say about it is I don't know if you could I forget what video it was, but I've seen like multiple videos trying to find out the exact amount of days he would have had to repeat. And now that's already the point of the movie. You don't have to know that to get like anything out of it. But I think it's cool. Like I've seen videos on that. If you could find those, I recommend it because I think it's kind of a cool thing. Like people try to calculate how long he would have to like do to figure out each like specific thing. And I think like Harold Ramis, the director, said it would have like he imagined it as like decades at least for him to figure out everything.
Decades. Wow.
Which yeah, which I don't think that's like I don't know. I don't think there's any like
That's
actual
kind of
definitive
insane to
answer.
think about.
Yeah. It's kind
I
of a
don't know
cool thing
about
to debate or
decades.
like think about.
Yeah,
I
I don't
like
know
thinking
about
about that,
decades
but
as a prediction though. This feels a bit
yeah,
exaggerated.
I wouldn't be able to guess on it because like every like little thing he does, he'd have to like
Uh huh.
obviously he has to like learn how to play piano and like learn how to do like a bunch of like little stuff then have repeated the days enough times to remember enough dialogue and events from everyone and also he doesn't go to the same places each day. Sometimes he'll go to different parts of the town, so he'll like
Yeah.
he won't like know that. And then like there's sometimes where it'll mention doing a certain thing a certain amount of time. I just think that's cool, at least from like hearing about it.
Uh
I
huh.
recommend like there's probably one if you look it up, it's probably the top video. But yeah, that just I think that's my last thought. I just find that
All
interesting.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm gonna give this. I guess we'll get on to ratings. I'll give this a
Mhm.
4 out of 5, 4 stars, or an 8 out of 10. Translating
Yeah,
to
I'd
that.
give it an solid 8 too. Very, very nice film.
Great movie.
I recommend
Fun
you
to
watch it,
revisit.
even if you did watch this without watching the movie. No one cares about Groundhog Day, so really you could watch this anytime you want. But
Yeah, spend
yeah,
your Groundhog Day watching this. I think it's worth a watch.
yeah, yeah. All right.
So yeah, I guess that's it.
That wraps things up.
Hopefully we're back. We're back. Maybe I don't know. I don't know if we'll stick to the one. We used to do the one video like a week thing, but like I know it's been. I don't know if we'll continue that. I don't know.
We'll definitely be at least more like consistent now, since like
Yeah.
we were both of us were like a lot busier last month, not just with
Uh
like
huh.
watching other things, but also just like in real life stuff in general. Now that's calmed down a lot. So
Yeah, and we
hopefully
had to
things are
fix the
better
audio
now
for the
at
other
least.
stuff, and we sometimes have trouble doing that.
I think we've sorted that out at least. I don't think that will happen again.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah, basically I think it's all
So
done
thanks
with
for
now.
tuning in for another episode of Campy Cast,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
yeah, watch Groundhog Day. You can watch M3GAN if you want to. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people seem to like it, so who knows? Maybe you'll be one of the people who like
Yeah.
it, even though we certainly did not. So
Yeah,
yeah,
and play high on life. That's our last plug for the day.
maybe.
Thank you.
Yeah. Also, yeah. Also, I know a lot of us, like almost half of this, like a good portion of it was just like giving us our thoughts on recent news. But we should stick to the more movie format next video. But
Just
hope
at
you
this
guys
time,
enjoyed.
we just had like since it was a while, we just had a lot of stuff we
Yeah, and I
wanted
think
to
it would
like
be.
take
We
a
thought
look
it might
at.
have been cool to like express some of our thoughts on certain pieces of news. So yeah. All right. Anyways, thank you for tuning in once again, and see ya.